Hello, welcome to week 10. This week we are looking at your lead magnet, and I've really enjoyed making this one. I think it's a really cool way to share your magic and get to connect with your customers, with your community without the pressure of creating something massive or like a huge container. It's just to help really grow that business, grow your connection, really get to know the people that want to be in your circle, I guess. So we're going to look at your marketing funnel briefly. I'm not obviously a marketing pro, but I have gone down a bit of a marketing and sales binge for the purpose of this course, and I have loved it. So who knows, maybe I will be a pro very soon. We'll look at emails and their providers, and then just some types of lead magnets and kind of what that means. So your marketing funnel, first of all, I kind of wanted to clarify this first. I've done a lot of research and there's a lot of different approaches, but this seemed to be the one that I found to be, I guess, the more straightforward. And it's just the idea of, how you bring people into your net and what this kind of net looks like. So we call it a funnel or net. You can see that it's like how people come in and then eventually kind of buy your product at the end. So we've kind of covered the elevator pitch or the one-liner. And actually, during the process or researching for this week specifically, I found some other ways to work on the one-liner. So when we do our one-on-one call, if you haven't booked it yet, we can actually work on that. So I would love for you to come with me with your elevator pitch, and then we can really refine that. And with a lot of different places that I looked at, everywhere was saying, like, you've got to be able to say what you do in one line. Like, your ideal client has to be able to come to you and you have to be able to say, this is what I do. And I really like what I've kind of discovered a bit more recently is adding a bit of curiosity to that. Actually, I'll share it with you now. One of them, for an example, was someone who was coaching parents with toddlers and helping them with their children and with parenthood. And they come up with a long one-liner of, she helps people change their relationship with time. And I think that's so important because, toddlerhood, parenthood, I think sometimes we're in such a rush, and I could just see that, like, she's actually teaching people to just kind of bring that back in. So I love the curiosity that leads with that. And I'm definitely working with that in my own brand now as well, which is perfect timing. So yeah. Second one is a website. I have seen some say that it's, potentially website is not necessary. I personally still think it is. I have had traffic on my website. I think it's still a base for a lot of things, and even though I don't quite understand the whole structure of it on the technology side, I think there is something to it, even with like linking your emails, like, and even being search engine optimization friendly. Like, I think having a website is still relatively important depending on what you do. Not that I'm going to go into it now, but then today we're going to look at the lead magnet. So the idea of the lead magnet is to create something for free for your customers of value that's going to want them to give their email or their details in exchange for whatever you have to give, and then you can add them to your nurture sequence, so a sequence of emails that they just hopefully love to receive and feel very nurtured by whatever it is that you're telling them. And then you can also send them sales emails, so when you've got an offer or something coming about, you can make it a bit more salesy as well. And there's different approaches to those two types of emails, which I'm not the person to go into it, but I just wanted to put that there so you could just think about the kind of that whole process. Like, what do you want? What's someone's journey when they arrive in your world? How do you want them to feel in all parts of what make you you? Because even if you've got your Instagram, your social media, like we talked about that, how do you want them to feel in all those different spaces when they run through? Like, you don't want them to be like, oh, try to click on the website, link doesn't work, like things like that. Like, I think it is important to just kind of them really be invited into your world and what your world looks like in all these different places. So email provider, super, super important, because actually, if you're just focusing on social media, you don't own your business really, because I have learned that the hard way. Like, if your social media account gets hacked, you have absolutely no way of going back into those contacts and getting in touch with them. So you really need to start creating that email list. And I've heard that from so many different people. Who knows, times might change, I don't know, but right now it seems like the right thing to do. And I do think that even for myself, very often I just, emails is definitely a place that I'll go and check for someone who's working. Again, think about your ideal client, but I do think it is important to have. use emails for everything. So you can look at lots of different email providers. Things to look at sometimes is actually how many contacts you can have in there. There is some free ones out there, which sometimes you can have not many contacts. Sometimes you can have a lot. I don't know. I don't know all of them, but it is worth looking at somewhere that you can actually collect that. I've just started with Flowdesk, and I actually really like them because I just love how easy the design is and how pretty they are. And I do know that if you start this course, you've probably not always got the emails on time. I've been having issues with my laptop, which is for some reason thinks I'm in Canada sometimes still, and it just seems to really have an issue with the website. So if I didn't have that issue, I think it would be fine. But I've cracked the code of it now, and I just really like how pretty they are, and you can easily do some workflows in there. So basically like a nurture sequence that you can just add different customers in. You can put lots of tags in there, so it's really fun. And you can actually use code Rosie50 and you'll get 50% off on Flowdesk as well. Kajabi is another one that I used for a while, and that's kind of a whole package. So you can actually host your course on there. You can have your email list. You can have your podcast. Like you can do a bunch of stuff. It's really an all-in-one kind of CRM. But the thing with Kajabi is I found it was like 200 because it was in the US. It was like 200 and something Aussie a month, and at that stage in my business, I was like, this is just not worth it really. But I think it will be one day because it is just such a good all-in-one, and it does also have that kind of affiliate side to it. So I think if depending on what business you want to be going into, even if, especially if it is coaching coaches, for example, who would also want to have their online platforms, it might be a good idea because if you refer your link, then you keep referring it to people, then you'll get something from that as well. So just something worth keeping in mind. But for me, it just didn't feel quite right at the time. So just a little thing from me as I was going down the marketing and sales rabbit hole. Getting to know your marketing and sales is just about learning how to dress your product to really align with the expression of who you are and what it is. And I think that's what I really enjoyed. I definitely think a lot of us sometimes think, oh, I don't want to sound too salesy or, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, the research that I've done, what it's allowed me to do is to be like, I guess words are words. And it's important to know that words can be interpreted in different ways depending on who you are and how it's been used in your life. But it is really cool to just think about it a little bit more like, why am I choosing mentor over coach? Like, why am I choosing these different words to describe myself? Actually, are they the right way to describe myself? Like, should that be my one-liner? Is that actually my one-liner? Am I saying what people actually want to hear? Am I describing this? So I have loved going down that journey, and definitely not the guru of this right now, but I do love it. And if you did want to brainstorm anything, like obviously I'm more than happy to. So let's get back to the lead magnet. So like I said, the idea of this lead magnet you're going to create this week or have in your creation hopefully is just a free exchange. It's an exchange of something for free for their emails and their information. And from this you can just really grow your email list, and it keeps your customers in the loop. You want to just let them know who you are, what's going on, and just the best thing as well is even a shareable email. So sending them an email that like, oh, I'm going to send that to my friend. That's great. That's a recipe or anything it is. These are really awesome too. Right, types of lead magnets that you could think about. You could do a free ebook. You can do a newsletter. However, I have heard so many places say, do not call it sign up for my newsletter, potentially because people just don't see the value in it. There's been so many newsletters now. They want to be like, oh, if I give my email to you, this is what I'll receive. Like, for example, like my weekly astrology. Like, I know I'm going to put my email in here, I'm going to get that. A newsletter is not telling them the information they're going to be getting. So I think it's good to just be a little bit precise about that, even if it was like weekly recipes or whatever it is you want it to be. A free done for you could do a webinar or a virtual summit. It's a good way. Some cheat sheets, checklists, some templates. You could do a giveaway, some prizes, early bird access to certain things. You could do a discount, any free tools. You could do a free consultation. There's loads of different things you could think about depending on the level of creativity potentially you want to go into. So yes, this week you are going to choose your lead magnet. Time to create it. And I'm really excited for this step because I feel like it will be a really nice gift that you can give to the world. That's you. It sends out your love. Like I said, it's your community. And please book your call with me. This is the time to do it. I will be relaunching the Power of You, but this is going to be the last time it will be at this price point, I think, and with this much free stuff, because where it is. Anyway, didn't matter, but book your call. I can't wait to know what you're doing, and I'm here for it. And I've loved how transformative it's been for a lot of you who've actually done the work and the questions. So thank you. All right, that's it. I'm out. Can't wait to see your lead magnet. Yay! Bye.